Hi, everybody. This is day 1685. Let's make sure that I'm on. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Okay. So we are at. There it goes. Okay. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. So we are at day 1685 days since Richard was brutally murdered, premeditatedly murdered, and it was treasonous. It was treasonous because we have connected his unit with the terrible organization, the Sinaloa Cartel. We have connected his case with the bad actors in the Walmart mass shooting case, and absolutely with the criminal trafficking, and of course with El Mayo. You can't forget about El Mayo Zapata. With Ray Velarde, and that's going to be interesting how all of this is going to be in the news, because we know that the news is propaganda, that the news is up to no good, especially in El Paso. I mean, it's it's so bad. You have to go to Legacy News is dead. Legacy News is relegated to uh, what the elite propaganda. I don't know. Legacy News is not investigative. It's totally compromised. It's set up in order to be uh, political attack dogs. Absolutely. And, our oversight has been compromised also. Um, we'll see what happens with the IRS, with El Paso Matters and El Paso Community Foundation. They're all, just up to no good running El Paso Matters with Bob Moore. And, it's all very, we just have to be patient, because we have a president now. We needed a new president, right? We needed a new president. That's what we needed. And we have one. We have a brand new president. Um, what, not, 45 days in office, if that, maybe not even that. And absolutely, the Sinaloa cartel are on the run, I guess, or they're, this might get ugly. This is what we're hearing, that, how can you give up a $1 billion enterprise, right? Billions and billions of dollars of enterprise. But this is what happens when you close the border. And I wouldn't call it a closed border. I would say it's called a secure border where you have the people actually doing their job. We can go in and out. We just have to do it legally, right? We just have to do it legally, because we have a lot of bad actors that were conducting a $1 billion trafficking enterprise, um, using our roads, using our buildings, the warehouses, using our politicians, using our DA office, using our judges, using making our judges illegal, right? Or affecting our politics in every way. Absolutely compromising our judicial, or I would say there's a constitutional crisis. Misusing our medical examiner's office, our courts, our, um, our media, our housing, our economy. They're, these criminal traffickers, these Sinaloa cartel $1 billion enterprise is using our stuff, and they're not paying it. They're um, getting taxpayers to pay for buses to go over to Mexico, pick up kids, come back over here, and put them in the schools here. We're paying for the children to go to school here when they're from Mexico. Something is not right there, right? That's extortion of the taxpayers, the American taxpayers. And, I'm not at all against any of those children coming to school, but they need to pay their own dime, right? Their families need to pay their way. And, well, we know that the ISDs also, they have taken over. Um, uh, you know, it's just uh, there's a constitutional crisis. I don't know how else to say it. It's a constitutional crisis when they're using what we've built up, and then they're saying, "Oh, you didn't build it," or whatever, but they don't pay any taxes. They pay no taxes, right? Um, and then they'll use the VA, and then the common denominator in Richard's case is um, undeserving, I would say, or unqualified individuals getting 100% veterans benefits, being coached and trained and all of that to get it, and having people that they know to get them that 100% uh, veterans disability benefits. Um, and then, so we have a lot of those, a lot of those. It is a common denominator. How can that be, right? When they're very, very active, they're very active. And then, of course, belonging to the Mormon congregation, that is, and the Mormon community there in El Paso, that's a common denominator. And also, you would think that the Mormon congregation, the Mormon leadership would speak up, right? Um, but it's um, it's a problem. It's a real problem. Felix Valenzuela, right? Felix Valenzuela, the Mormon lawyer. Um, and then and then of course the other common denominator is that this connection to the Sinaloa cartel. So that's a really interesting set of common denominators. But there you have it. I couldn't write that. I wouldn't write that. I wouldn't develop that. We have hard evidence to confirm all of that. Um, and I think that people in El Paso absolutely know that. So that's the common denominator. The other common denominator are people that are very, very good with the computer, very good with hacking, very good with being, laundering money, very good with business dealings, right? These LLCs, this is a common denominator. The LLCs connect major players. And of course, Veronica Escobar is a major player. And Veronica Escobar has absolutely shown her true colors, shown her that what she cares about is seems like it to me, the Mexican cartel, the Sinaloa cartel. I mean, she's bringing in Sinaloa cartel, um, bringing cartel tied individuals to major positions like the chief medical examiner. And I can't stress that enough because that botches all these capital cases. And, and he's absolutely tied to the cartel. And so she cares about that. And if, that makes her absolutely tied with Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, with Alexander Hoffman, right? And Danae Katzen. That makes, and of course, that's why They were advocating for her. They were advocating for Beto O'Rourke, um, I'm wondering if they donated to. I mean, it's that's fine. That's fine that they did, but that shows this connection with Bliss Avenue through Mario Raskin Ortiz. This very, very close relationship between Mario Raskin Ortiz and Veronica Escobar, and that puts her in a very close um, proximity to Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia and Alexander Gerhard Hoffman, the Walmart victim, right? What was he doing? What was his job before he was so brutally murdered, right? If he's connected to Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia, if he's connected to uh, Veronica Escobar, what's going on? Um, because Veronica Escobar absolutely is up to no good. If she is going to be connected to, uh, uh, cartel activities. I mean, if she's connected to if she approved Mario Raskin Ortiz's payment, knowing the things that she knows about him, and it is like $430,000 and upwards to, more, that I don't know. Does that make her a narco politician? Does that mean that she could be arrested? I know the role that she played in Richard's case was up to no good. Absolutely up to no good. And I know the opposition that she has um, held to against President Trump. A normal, absolutely abnormal. She's on the wrong side of normal. She's not normal. She's absolutely not normal. Because if the President of the United States wants to come and give his condolences and help to mass shooting victims, she should absolutely be by his side. When she is up in Washington, D.C., uh, getting an up-to-date address from the President of the United States to Congress, she absolutely needs to sit through it. Why is she so partisan, really against Trump? Because she wasn't partisan against Bill Hicks, who's a usurper as the DA's office. She wasn't, she's not partisan against other, um, she has like that Trump derangement syndrome. But I don't think it's that. I think it is, she wants that open border, that cha-ching of the open border, which absolutely is totally connected to the huge $1 billion Sinaloa cartel, um, ties with all kinds of people doing this criminal trafficking. And I'm talking about the worst kinds of substances that kill people. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of children that were taken, that were trafficked and now are mostly dead. I'm praying they find more. I'm talking about the weapons and ammunition, that kind of smuggling. And she cares deeply about that because she went and she met with Zelensky. She has the wherewithal, the strength, the backbone to meet with Ukraine's President Zelensky, but she doesn't have for her own constituents that are Republicans, because her constituents are not just Democrats, but they're Republicans. She doesn't have the wherewithal. She doesn't have the strength to sit and listen to a speech, but yet she has the wherewithal to go and meet with Ukraine's Zelensky, Who? Remember, the weapons that were being sent to Ukraine, half of those, maybe more, but half of those were going to the Mexican cartel. A real risk and a real threat to her constituents. And she has the wherewithal, which is fine, to meet with Zelensky, but not with President Trump. Something is really creepy. And to be in opposition of President Trump with Zelensky, to be in opposition to President Trump in her own district. The people voted, and what she's doing is very, very dangerous. And now, with the connections to Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia and Alexander Hoffman and everything that we're finding out there, and that they targeted us, it's kind of like that CAO that targeted us, right? Remember Haley Separatio from our CAO, Josh Lyons? I mean, my goodness, we've come so far, haven't we? Now, what if that's going on with Veronica Escobar? What if she has her agents, her paid, you know, crisis actors or spies? Does she have spies? Does she have informants out there? As a representative, I'm sure. I'll let the investigators, um, really reveal all that. But, um, you know, especially uh, who are her donors, and um, that's a really a huge one that we're working on, because you got to follow the money. You got to follow West Star Bank, right? And El Paso Community Foundation and El Paso Matters. And who are the biggest funders of Veronica Escobar? And could she be put in prison right now, or jailed, or arrested, or whatever, because she absolutely violated so many laws? Maybe she can join Leilani Hart. Maybe Agent Morales can arrest both of them, Leilani Hart and Veronica. Do they even know each other? I mean, Leilani Hart absolutely knows Rosa Maria Valdez Garcia. I wonder if it's like a trifecta there, right? You know, with all this news coming out with these honeypot plots, and everything that we've been reading by Leilani Hart, it's bad. Could she be a honeypot plot? Oh, yeah. Could she facilitate a honeypot plot? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Am I putting out allegations against her? She needs to be arrested. They're not my allegations. These are her own words. They're her own words. It's her confessions. And it's bad. And it's the worst type of videos with children. It is the facilitating the worst type of crimes against children. It is the worst type of crimes within a family. Um, illegal weapons purchasing. So, someone that she knows what she's doing. And Agent Morales absolutely has no problems except for compromise in arresting Leilani Hart. And I think that Veronica Escobar is getting there. I think a lot of evidence, at least we're getting a lot of evidence, that really shows some real problems. Real problems. Thank you, Danielle, for coming on. Thank you for your prayers and um, all of your shares and all of that. It's just wonderful. Thank you, Anicia, for coming on. It is really very crazy behind the scenes, even though today was Sunday. I mean, here we are almost 1 o'clock again in the morning. Of course, it was spring forward. Um, so, it's been extra busy because of that. And we're ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. We're ready. We're absolutely filing more documents um, because of all the information, the connections, the already filed from Maria that's leading into Alexander Hoffman. Um, he has history. He's been, right? He has been there. And I know he was shot and killed in 2019, August 3rd, 2019. But he has a long history, 40 years, 40 years. And there's a lot of evidence there. So it is really important for everyone to pass this information around. I know that the Montoya documents are getting a lot of attention. I know that the federal courthouse, Mayella, is getting a lot of attention. Um, so yeah, so we need to put out some more. We're gonna cover Richard's case keeps on giving, and um, with all the intel that we get, we document it and we file it. And whatever happens, you wouldn't believe. Um, it, well, you probably would, you probably would, but you can tell that something is wanting to be covered up. They want to cover something up really big. So, so we're going to continue and continue and continue until we get Richard's remains, right? Until we get Richard's remains and answers, legitimate answers and accountability. So thank you so much. I won't keep you long tonight. Thank you so much. God bless you. And please share. And we'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.